and with pride. And the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government telling her what to do. And on that last point, understand how we got here. When he was president, Donald Trump handpicked 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would overturn and undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as he intended, they did. And now, in over 20 states in our nation, there is a Trump abortion ban. Many, like Arizona, with no exceptions even for rape or incest. And just yesterday, in a press conference, we got a fresh reminder of what Donald Trump's Project 2025 agenda would do. It would ban medication abortion in every state. But we are not going to let that happen because we trust women. And when I am President of the United States and when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedoms for every woman in America, I will sign it into law. So listen, here's the thing that we all know. Here's the thing we all know. Generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom. Now, the baton is in our hands. Each and every one of us. So we who believe in the sacred freedom to vote will finally pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. And we who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence will finally pass an assault weapons ban, universal background checks, and red flag laws. So much is on the line in this election. And understand, this is not 2016, and this is not 2020. You know, this time around, the stakes are even higher. And that's because last month, the United States Supreme Court basically just told the former president, who has been convicted of fraud, that going forward, he will be effectively immune no matter what he does in the White House. But think about what that means. Think about what that means in this election. Think about what that means. He's been effectively told he will be immune if he's back in the White House. Think about what that means when you remember Donald Trump has openly vowed, if reelected, he will be a dictator on day one. That he will weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Remember that he even called for the, quote, termination of the Constitution of the United States. Understand what this means. And let us be very clear, someone who suggests we should terminate the Constitution of the United States should never again stand behind the seal of the United States President. Never again. Never again. Arizona, it all comes down to this. We are here because we love our country. We love our country. We love our country, and I do believe it is the highest form of patriotism to fight for the ideals of our country. That's how we preserve the promise of America. And after all, the promise of America is what makes it possible for Governor Walz and me to be on the same stage together. Because think, two middle-class kids. One, a daughter of Oakland, California, who was raised by a working mother, had a summer job at McDonald's. The other, a son of Nebraska Plains, who grew up working on a farm. Think about it. Only in America is it possible for them together to make it all the way to the White House. Only in America. Only in America. So we together, all of us, we're running this campaign on behalf of all Americans, from red states to blue states, from the heartland to the coast. And when we are elected, we will govern on behalf of all Americans. All Americans. So Arizona, ultimately in this election, I do believe we each one of us, we face a question. That question being, what kind of country do we want to live in? Do we want to live in a country of chaos, fear, and hate? Or a country of freedom, compassion, and rule of law? The beauty of our democracy is that we each have the power to answer that question. Each one of us in a democracy has the power to answer that question. The power is with the people.